What's up, Dallas? It's your girl Rachel. We are back with another great episode for our 2025 season. I have Brie here. How are you doing?
I am blessed. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So Brie and I connected on Facebook. I really am passionate about spotlighting foundations and organizations here in the DFW that are just really doing great things for the community. And Brie has one of those organizations. So can you tell everybody about what you do?
Yes, I am the founder of EmpowerUp Inc., which is a local nonprofit that assists our community in multiple ways, from funding kids' lunch accounts, being in the community, meeting with the community, painting faces. We've partnered with All Things Arty to paint faces, mentor parents, help with like job resources, whatever we can do to empower, inspire, and let our community know that there are still people out here in the world that do care. So it's just a little bit about what we do.
Well, that's a whole lot of everything,
It
actually.
is, it really is. It's hard to cap it. But we have five technical things that we're supposed to focus on, but when your heart is big, you tend to sometimes do a little extra for the community.
That's understandable. And I heard a lot of things in there that were so needed in the community. Like when you were talking about funding kids' lunch accounts, because there's a lot of kids out there that don't have money to eat or their
Yep.
parents don't have money, period.
Yeah.
So
There's a
I've
lot of kids that aren't eating. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of kids that don't eat at home, and you would never know until somebody catches them digging through a trash or acting out or something like that. You wouldn't even know. So it really we're trying to not necessarily like bring the spotlight to it and cause too much attention, but just make sure that the kids are taken care of if they need that assistance. So
Oh my gosh. Like I mean, right when you said that, it brought me back to my childhood. I'm just saying, I'm thankful for the people who have been able to have a heart to give to kids like that because I was one of those kids.
yeah,
And I knew what it was like to not eat properly. I knew what it was like to not have a hot meal or, something that is different than just, buttered bread or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
yeah,
I I lived that life.
yeah,
So to see an organization that's pushing and helping kids, to not be a focus of what's wrong. It's more like, let me help you without really letting everybody else know.
yeah.
Because I feel like if you protect the image of the child or the family, it kind of helps them respect you more for the privacy because that to some people it can be embarrassing. It really
Yeah.
can.
It is, and that's why we did 50 Easter baskets and did them in a kind of behind the scenes private manner that we donated
Mhm.
them back to families. No recognition. We didn't ask for any recognition. We just simply wanted to make sure that 50 kids had a smile on their face Easter, and then we did more than $2,000 in Christmas presents
Mhm.
behind the scenes and Toys for Tots. So it's all about making sure that the people can smile and that the parents and the kids both know that there is good people still in the world.
Absolutely. And I can't help but look at your logo in the background.
Yeah,
That
this is the city of Dallas in the
I
background,
know,
actually.
but it speaks volumes.
Yep.
Literally, no pun intended. I know there's books there, but it's almost like you're helping on every level of the community's needs. So
Yep.
it's
To get to
like,
the top, to get to the
mhm,
very top step with the trophy in her hand. She's almost there, but she's
mhm.
not all the way there yet with the trophy. So that's what Empower Up is. We want to empower, like literally be the hand that says, "We got you." Like, let's figure it out together. We got you, right?
let's
So
let's win together. Absolutely.
exactly, teamwork. It really makes the dream work.
Absolutely. So I know behind every foundation, there's a founder with a story. So what's your story?
Oh, my story is long, something kind of like yours. I grew up not having my parents didn't really have any money. My mom worked, she was the sole worker. My biological dad was in and out of prison, so I was 25. My stepdad, that's a whole nother story.
Mhm.
So I grew up in in a rough situation, in a rough household, a rough life. And so in turn, I didn't have the best examples. I didn't have mentors. I didn't have anybody that could show me the right things. So in
Mhm.
tune, and we didn't have money. We never had lunch money. We didn't eat at school. We barely ate at home. We would be blessed to go to a friend's house and their family feed us type stuff. But in tune, it turned me into bad situations. I put myself in bad situations. I hung out with the wrong crowds. I was running with the wrong, dating the wrong men, boys. At that time, I ended up in my first abusive relationship before I got out of high school. I was
Mhm.
almost killed when I was 18 by domestic violence.
Mhm.
So that, and then all the other adversities that I've personally faced.
Mhm.
Again, not having the mentors. I was in the strip clubs looking for fast money to have money at too
Mhm.
young of an age. So I
Right.
lived a really rough lifestyle. I had an addiction to pills because the environment that I was working in, I had to um,
Mhm.
mask that to handle that. So then I lost my best friend to domestic violence.
Mhm.
I lost my fiance's 15-year-old daughter. So I she was my stepdaughter in a car wreck in
Mhm.
2017. 9 days later, her dad, the day before her funeral, um, was in a car wreck and became paralyzed. So and he ended up passing away. So I went through a lot
Mhm.
to get here. And in
Right.
those struggles, I feel like made me who I am right now, and
Mhm.
also made me want people to realize like you don't have to be like that. No matter what you've done or gone through, I'm a successful, quote unquote, successful businesswoman now, but I also
Mhm.
have a passion for the community and people. I'm a life coach.
Mhm.
Right? So everything that I've been through turned up a flame and built a fire. And then me beating the odds. I didn't go to prison, thank God. I didn't go to prison. I didn't end up addicted to severe drugs like the world told me I was going to be. I got out of domestic violent situations, and then life hit and took everybody I loved, pretty much rocked my kids. Didn't know how to deal with losing their sister and their stepdad at the same time.
Mhm.
So it it turned a fire into me. So in
Yeah.
2023, I was like, hey, I've been do- volunteering in domestic violence shelters. It's way beyond domestic violence that I want to help. So
Yeah.
came EmpowerUp Inc. And in 20, I had good, pretty traction, but last year I met some really good people, and
Mhm.
we started believing in each other. Then we jumped off a podcast almost immediately in EmpowerUp, and the podcast kind of took flight like quickly. So
Wow.
teamwork makes the dream work. So we're pretty quickly doing some amazing things, building some amazing partnerships, and it's just all off the love. We've all been through something. We all have that fuel, and we want people to be like to know that you don't have to go through it alone. Like
Yeah.
there's people here that believe in you, regardless what the world has against you. Like, we believe in you. So we are faith based.
Mhm.
Also, so we strongly believe that, God has brought us all here to be exactly where we are and what we're doing right now. And that's to empower.
Wow. I love everything that you said there, but through your journey, the only thing I can sum up about your journey is you turned your tragedy into triumph.
Exactly.
Um, that's what's really coming from this conversation right now
Mhm.
is that, there's a lot of women out there who experience domestic violence
A lot.
coming
Too
coming
many.
from broken homes, poor neighborhoods, um, not understanding the true concept of what real love is like, um, not understanding God's love, or
Mm.
maybe taking it for granted, or supplementing it for something else.
Yep.
Um, let's be honest, because that's what a lot of people do. They try to supplement their pain with temporary things instead of actually dealing with it. And that's like a whole another real topic. So,
That's what
um,
we were just talking about in Bible study right before entering into this.
oh wow, see, it's kind of connected. Okay, thank you, God. Look at you working. So I love all of that. It's like every time I talk to a guest on my show, it's like God keeps reconfirming that what I'm doing right now is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
So I love everything that you provide, everything you stand for. I love everything that your journey didn't stop you. I see a fierce woman in front of me. Like you have been through the wire. Okay, that's the right term to say. And I love the fact that you are not letting that stop you in your purpose. So that is such a beautiful thing. It really is. And
Yeah.
I'm going to give you accolades for starting that, for taking this time to, instead of turning into like, going downhill, you started looking up.
That's what they
And
wanted me to do though. Like,
mhm,
that's what everybody wanted me to fail, but God
mhm,
couldn't allow me to fail. And in the same time he allowed me to go through all the battles so I could help other people go through those battles. So we can have podcasts all day about grief, you know what I'm saying? Domestic violence,
mhm,
poverty, the kids not eating, uh, CPS, you know what I'm saying? Like all the
mhm,
different things, addictions, like all the different things we could talk about them because nobody can walk you through them better than somebody that's been through it, right? Like,
mhm. Exactly.
then when you think of all those things, you think of people that won't have good jobs, like they can't be successful. I have a tattoos everywhere. People thought I couldn't be successful. Like, I
Mhm.
just, I had to prove everybody wrong. So,
Yeah. That I love the fact also that you didn't let your struggles identify you.
mm-hmm.
You know, let's go on that topic for a second because I'm just kind of going with the way that I feel like the spirit is leading because somebody is going to watch the show and somebody is going to need to hear this. So, let's talk about our struggles identifying us. Because I feel like it's not talked about enough that when people start identifying with what they've been through, they start really truly living in that identity instead of thriving out of it. So how did you how did you stop identifying with what you've been through? Like, you could always say I've been a domestic violence survivor or I was from the streets or whatever, but how did you denounce that and start moving forward?
God, to be
Mhm,
honest, nobody but God. I literally had like a revelation one day, right? That like this is all, I kept you here for a reason, right?
mhm,
Like you won't you won't be this, right? It was just a voice that was always ticking in the back of my head. And when I lost when I lost my best friend, my daughter and my fiance all within 3 months.
Mhm.
It was the hardest thing to not be become addicted to drugs or alcohol, right? So I literally, at that exact moment of life, after I had a little period of grief, I had to realize, like, God brought you through this for a reason, right?
Mhm.
You're not going to fail. You're going to be the testimony at the end
Mhm.
of the day. So it was just fuel, and it was like the whispers in my ear. At that point, I felt I had angels. I didn't know God at the time. I
Mhm.
had no relationship previously until I finally was like, you know what? I woke up one day and was like, you're not going to do this. You're
Mhm.
not. You're going to figure this out. Get this right. So if we're being completely honest, that's what allowed me to stand against it and not
Mm.
be that. Tapped me on the
Amen.
shoulder and said, I've got you. Like, believe me. So, I
Mm.
mean, I fought it for a long time. That's crazy. We were just, like I said, just talking about it in Bible study. I isolated. I, I
Mhm.
allowed people to tell me things. But
Mhm.
every time they were just telling me things or trying to get me to be those people because of
Mhm.
where I came from, because I can't, it was something that was telling me, you won't.
Mm.
You won't.
Look at look at God working. Look at God
Yeah.
working. Like it's like he's reconfirming for you what you've already talked about. So he's like it's like the spirit is already flowing. It's like I'm
Yep.
already here. Like we're gonna go ahead when two or more are gathered in my name. I am
Yep.
there.
Yep.
And you know what? Thank you, Jesus. That's all I gotta say. Thank you,
Yep.
Jesus. The only way that we can ever get through our situations is if we let God take the control.
Yep. We
Um,
gotta let go and truly let God. Like, jump out on faith. Sometimes you don't have to understand everything, right?
yeah,
But when you really truly are trying to do right by people, by
hmm,
God, by the world, He will align the perfect people at the craziest times, right?
yeah,
And it all
absolutely.
just makes sense. And you start to see what can happen. Like, what? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. But you just have to really sit back and realize, like, you don't have to understand it all the time. You're
Hmm.
going through it because you were meant to go through it and overcome
Yeah,
it, right? But you don't got to
exactly.
understand it. Stay strong and find you some good people. Hit up EmpowerUp Inc. website. We have a little chat,
Hmm.
and know that there's people out here that will get you
Absolutely.
through it. So,
Absolutely. And I just you said something like really deep that your testimony is going to be something that people need to hear. And I keep saying that and it keeps reconfirming to me every single time. The reason why I do what I do right now, especially having the podcast, being in the community, is because there has not been a positive platform as
mhm.
far as a media business putting a spotlight on community and people that are changing things.
Yep,
Um,
you
I
are
don't think,
preaching.
mhm. I don't think the community is embracing as much as they should the positivity that needs to be brought to the community.
They
That's,
flock for the drama.
yeah, they
They
love it.
really do. They will support and tune in to the drama
Hmm.
so quick. Numbers. But
Hmm.
trying to get somebody to talk to about the positive you're doing in the community is like slim and far and between.
Absolutely.
I appreciate what.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing too, girl. So please, I do want to kind of touch base on like what kind of services you offer, like specifically what you do and how people can get a hold of you for those services.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell the
Oh,
tell the
okay.
tell the community.
Well, I will say at this exact moment, I'm gonna be completely honest. We're restructuring a little bit. We were kind of all over the place with the services that we offered, but we were a little smaller, and we weren't. all over TikTok or out in the community as much, and it was just me.
Mhm.
So I didn't have that much requests for
Mhm.
assistance, right? So it was easy for me to just go put on some money on some lunch accounts, make some Easter baskets, some back to school supplies, and that be that. But since we've been out here a lot more in the communities on TikTok website, people all over the world are viewing the website. Um, we were restructuring a little bit too as we
Mhm.
go after our first grant. So normally we would do anything we could. We've paid rent. We did just pay. We just raised funds to cover a mother and her son from being evicted.
Mhm.
We paid the light bill, but we're restructuring. So now, currently moving forward, we will be doing like mentorship program
Mhm.
online in our chat on our website. They can reach out. We'll do peer to peer mentorship and partnership or whatnot. We're
Mhm.
funding kids' lunch accounts, but we're titling it "No Family Go Hungry" because we're gonna have a food pantry
Mhm.
open soon. So we're also, let me see, I just took my notes. We literally just met on this yesterday because we have to lessen our umbrella from what we were told by our
Yeah.
mentors.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to be more focused on certain
yeah, and
things.
I'm like, what? You want me to cut it to five things? Like, you're crazy. Like, I want to do everything. I want to be I want to help everybody. And they're like,
Yeah.
girl, you can't do that. You can't save the world right now. So, um, we're going to teach where is my note? Healthy relationships
Mhm.
to all ages of kids.
Mhm.
We are going to also okay, here we go. Hold on one second. Sorry.
It's
Okay,
okay.
life skills, peer-to-peer uh, peer-to-peer online and in-person mentorship, no kids hungry, no family hungry program, community engagement out here, painting faces with all things arty in the community, doing like back to school supplies and events or Easter baskets,
Mhm.
per se, for kids in need, but most and foremost the mentorship, the funding, the no kid no family goes hungry
Mhm.
program, teaching life skills. So we're going to assist people in not so much always going after college, but knowing you could get a trade and still become successful. Teaching financial literacy to teenagers, teaching cooking, stuff like that. So that's what we're kind of closing the umbrella on
Okay.
right now.
I do love that. I do agree. I work with a foundation as well. I mean, an organization that, it's very, especially when you're writing grants, you have to be very specific about what specifically you provide for the
Mm-hmm.
community.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea for number one. I mean, you can always expand later.
Yeah, that's what they said. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. So when they
Mhm.
chopped me down from not being able to help, adults and kids, and like we had to kind of shift. It really has been a struggle for me, honestly. But I have a
Mhm.
really good team too, so they kind of keep me in line because I really want to help the entire world if I could.
That's
So
like me. That's like me with rescuing animals. I just want to rescue every animal that's out there.
I
If
worked
I,
at the shelter for like 3 years as the
uh,
business manager, and I brought home so many dogs. I was like, I had to have a career change.
well, my husband, I mean, God bless him. He embraced every animal I've ever brought uh onto my porch. Right now we are embracing three dogs at our house, and I would probably say all the neighborhood cats. Because I can't just pick one.
Yeah. And
He
it's
told
kitten
me I could,
season right now, too.
yeah, he told me I could have as many cats as I want, but they have to stay outside. So I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna adopt them all, including the little possums at
All the
nighttime. Like,
feral cats.
I have so many of them, but they all
Whatever
are
makes you
named.
happy.
Yes, they all have names, and I have some that are loyal cats. I like my porch kitties is what I call them.
Yeah.
And if I have an organization, I really want to do one for saving the animals. Like that's really that's my thing. I'm passionate about animals. I'm
And
passionate
people will
about the
stand
youth too.
behind it. People will stand behind it. People, I learned working at the shelter. I think people love animals sometimes more than humans because they'll help the animals before they'll help the humans.
Well, I think that a lot of that has to do with animals are a lot kinder than humankind. So,
Yes, true.
that's real talk. I mean, us humanoid species, let's go back to Star Trek term here. Um, Humanoid species, we're a rough bunch. Like we are some mean competitive people. And, I love the fact that we are coming together as community medias and community foundations and organizations to actually make this impact in the community.
Yes.
I I feel like we should do more of this,
Hmm.
honestly. So, I'm gonna hit you up for some events because I have a lot of events that I get invited to,
Hmm.
but you know what? Let's kind of throw this out there. Let's do a positivity expo.
Yeah, we should definitely.
I think we should because I think the more organizations we bring together, the more we can make an impact. Because there's a lot of organizations out there, people don't have
Right.
a clue. They're just like, what's that? Never heard of
Yep.
them. Like,
Yep. Yep.
and okay, all right. So you heard it
For
here first,
sure.
guys. You heard it here first. What's up, Dallas
Let's
is going to
go.
sponsor. So, my next question is your podcast. Okay, where can
Yes.
people find it? What's it about? Tell me about it.
It is on. It is on TikTok. Um, we are
Mhm.
currently in an intermission right now, debating if we're going to come back to TikTok or if we're going to shift it to another platform. But
Mhm.
however, it is a some people call it a podcast. We like to call it like a like something like an AA meeting, but
Mhm.
not an AA meeting, right? Because it's not. So it's really like a group some like a group therapy session. So what it is we get together, we have a different topic every time. We're doing it 5 nights a week. That became a lot. Then we narrowed it down to three: Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Mhm.
The most of the crew of Empower Up is the members on there as well. Me and all things Artie and another young lady. So we have again a different topic every day.
Mhm.
We talk about our version of the topic, our
Mhm.
definition of the topic, and then we open it up to the panel and we allow them to get in on the conversation as well. So again, you can imagine a different topic every day. We have talked about anything and everything from grief to issues that step parents may face in the home, right? To
Mhm.
games, all types of get to know each other things,
Mhm.
all types of spicy, different items. So it really has been an amazing thing. But
Mhm.
like we kind of briefly talked about before, or mentioned before, people flock to negativity versus positivity. So we started off the podcast with some very amazing traffic
Mhm.
immediately. We
Right.
literally took TikTok in a storm in a very short period of time. And in
Mhm.
that, we launched very quickly. So let's talk about it. It had some amazing traction, but um, of course, it started attracting the wrong people, the wrong energies. So we tuned it down, and right now we're in intermission, re-strategizing where we're going to come back in full effect at. But it has been an amazing thing. We have right now, I kind of now just go live myself at the moment,
Mhm.
to talk and inspire and empower, instead, on TikTok and Instagram. But
Mhm.
we're debating where the home will be. So we will be back very soon. Probably just not on TikTok. We just don't know. I keep hearing YouTube. I keep hearing YouTube, 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 YouTube. So I don't know, but where it will be yet. But it is amazing. It is, really truly inspiring to get with a group of people, and I really want to do it in person someday.
Yeah.
Women or even males together in the same place discussing real life, um, issues and praises at the same time, just anything, right? We check in with each other every day first before we jump into a topic. So it's an
Mhm.
amazing vibe, it's an amazing spirit. It just took over life at the same time, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, because you get
Yeah.
on there for, and then TikTok, when they send you coins, so you be on there for a very long time, and it just became a lot. So we're in a
Yeah.
brief intermission, re-strategizing, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah. I understand that completely because there are some times whenever you're doing social media or you're doing something positive in the community, and then maybe you might have like a topic that people are more drifted towards. Like say for instance, we're talking about women, um, and things women like or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go into detail for that topic, but
Yeah,
like say there's podcasts that talk about that kind of stuff, but really you're putting out information that you're responsible for.
yeah.
So every time that I have a guest on my show or when we talk about topics, I try to tell everybody we're a family friendly TV show, we're a
Hmm.
family friendly podcast, so we don't really touch on, sultry topics or vulgar or violent topics
Yeah,
or that's not what we're about. And I've found that staying focused on my purpose instead of submitting to what the world wants me to do
exactly.
is is what's really helped people to respect my channel more. They're like, "Oh, Rachel's got a show on. Okay, cool. I'm gonna watch the episode." And they never have to question it because it's not going to be something that they have to cover their kids' eyes or something. I'm not going to be
Yeah,
cussing in my show. I'm not going to be talking about inappropriate things. I'm not going to have an inappropriate guest, and I'm definitely not going to promote inappropriate content.
yeah.
Um, we're all about inspiring. You're inspiring, and I like to have you back on my show. So,
I would love to come back. I would
mm-hmm,
love to come back, but unfortunately, when you're live,
mm-hmm,
and you experience for the first time, it was new. It happened so fast. Um,
mm-hmm,
you experience some of the people that sit on your own team, weren't in the right positions or there for the right reasons.
mm-hmm,
And that kind of, and then you realize that people will now see you here and doing
mm-hmm.
good things in the community, and they want to talk about things that you've been through in your past.
That
So
part.
that really, and at the time, God was telling me to shake and cut certain things, and I was being hard-headed because I loved people and things, and I was bumping my own head. And then
Mm-hmm,
when I finally listened, I said, let me take a break from the podcast per se, and redo some things, and at the right time and on the right platform, um it will be what it's supposed to be. But it became taken over and was totally not what we stand on or we're trying to do. So I was like, you know
mm-hmm.
what?
Let's hit the brakes.
Yes, because and then again, I'm always been a behind the scenes person. To be honest, I've never been a in front of the camera person. So people have been telling me to do this for years, and I finally did it. And then I was in front of the camera, and I experienced all of these things. And I'm a real to myself. I can help the community and love the people all day, but I can go home and be back to myself. I don't have to be I don't deal with a lot of people unless it's
Right.
business related per se. I'm a
Right.
germaphobe. I'm alone. I'm a popular loner in a sense.
Yeah.
So I had to let people in my world, and it didn't go well. So I'm like, B, this is not for you right now, right? Even though it might
Yeah.
be for you later, it's not. And it was a lesson learned, and I'm thankful for it. So
Mm.
when I get the keys right, definitely I'm gonna come spend some time with you. You come spend some time with me, and
Mhm.
it'll be beautiful.
It will be beautiful, and it's gonna be inspirational too. Because I say two queens of podcasting. I would say queens because we've been crowned God's children.
Yeah,
So we are queens, but we have
definitely.
podcasts that are so powerful and so impactful that I believe that we are all supposed to connect on one way or another. So I just want to inspire you from podcaster to podcaster. Don't ever let anybody sway you from what God has for you. Because what is for you,
Yes.
and what is for me is for me. And just for inspiration's sake, because I had to learn this myself, some of the people you want to bring into it are not supposed to be in your blessing.
Right.
So
I
I've been
learned
learning
that the
that.
hardest way. Like they hurt me to my some of these people I've been friends with for more than 10 years. And then we got TikTok.
Mhm.
TikTok will make or break.
Mhm. It sure will.
Social media period is like that though. So
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I found my most success that I've had with my podcast, and I'm just sharing this like, to help inspire maybe direction or whatever,
Hmm.
is YouTube has both been my most and powerful, impactful source of media. I do have my website, so all my interviews are on my website too, but
Okay.
everything goes back to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I have a section on my website where people can just click on the interview and it goes straight to YouTube.
Hmm.
But my following, I don't have a lot of people that subscribed right now, but I do have people watching.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of at that mindset because God told me it's not about the numbers, it's about
The
the
people.
purpose. Yeah, the purpose.
Yes, we were just telling the lady that mentors that we pay for a mentor with the nonprofit, and
Uh-huh.
we were just telling her like, get last night, like we appreciate it, the advice, but we're not in it for the money, right? Like we're in it for the purpose and the mission, and we would rather have the one touch one person and help one person than 500 bad, you know that we're not meant to, right? So
Exactly that
it's not
part.
about all of that. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't understand that.
And I don't know if you've had this before, but whenever you've had people like see your like recognize you, or they'll be like, "Oh, hey, I seen you on, let's talk about it," or something. Have you had people come up to you and try to use your podcast for the wrong reason?
Oh yeah, they turned my podcast into a date. That's why we took a break. Like they
Mhm.
literally tried to turn it like people would come tune in and because it was live, right?
Mhm.
They would like try to holler at the people that were on the box, and essentially they were like trying to hijack the show. So
Yeah.
it became a lot, right? And these were the
Mhm.
people that I was allowing, in these positions. So it was a lot. The wrong recognition, the wrong publicity, or they would want to turn
Right.
it into a triple X moment. And it just
Mm,
wasn't, it was a lot. It was a lot to
yeah,
deal with. So that's exactly why I paused while I try to figure out where to
exactly.
come back. I might need
Mm.
to pick your brain on the YouTube tip because I keep hearing that, but I know nothing about YouTube. So
It's so easy to navigate. I learned a lot of what I'm doing right now because God revealed it to me. Um, I don't have a team. It's just me.
yeah.
And I I did my website myself. I did all my social media. I learned how to link everything and I've learned how to make everything work.
Mm,
So, but it wasn't without the grace and knowledge
yeah.
of what God was telling me to do because I was like, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. And from my
Yeah.
experience, I've had people that recognize my channel from Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and from my posts and stuff like that. Hey Rachel, are you What's Up Dallas? And I was like, yeah, I'm What's Up Dallas, and I'll go network, but then they want to bring content to the What's Up Dallas. Like they want to spotlight all of Dallas. Not
Yeah.
all of Dallas is fit for our show. Not all of
Yep.
Dallas.
Exactly.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yep.
Let's leave the stripper vibes out of this. This is not what we're trying to do here.
Right. Yep.
Or or like we'll have people that want to be on my show, but they misrepresent their content. So like for
Mm-hmm.
instance, they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm a multi-business owner. I want to be on your show because I want to talk about my success story." But it ended up being a beer and burger restaurant and a strip club attached. I was like, "No, we're not doing that." And then like someone said, like this person is a really godly figure, like a really godly person, but they have a shady business. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no, we're not gonna go with that. I use discernment when my guests come on my show. I don't just
Yeah.
interview just anyone. So
Right. Right. Yep. Exactly. And that's I had to take that too. Like you can't just let anybody in your box, right? Like
you
and,
can't. Your
and again
blessing is not.
it happened so quick and took off so fast, and I was making very good money
Mhm,
too at the same time, but it literally took over my life. Like I was
mhm,
on there all, and I wasn't working at the time, so I was on there all day, right? And I'm just like, okay, you know what, I'm so very thankful that God showed me that although I'm gonna show you what this could be, you know what I'm saying, but you're gonna learn the hard lessons up front so that way when you come back you've been through that, and now it's, you know what to do, right? So this time it's going to be different. So I'm thankful for it. I can't stand it, but I'm so very thankful because this it showed me that it again it's needed. It's almost like a peer to peer counseling type of
mhm.
session when you get to talking to people, the right people.
When the vibe is right. When
Yep,
you Like when you
most
just
def.
already know, it's gonna be a good interview when you both already being like, okay, I just got done praying about it. Let's do it. Like you
Yep.
already know. I'm like, hey sister, come on, let's talk.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
talk about it.
absolutely. So I do want to thank you again for being on my show today. But for our
Yeah.
followers out there, can you tell them where to find your organization?
Yes, they can find us on Facebook, Empower Up Inc. You can find me on Instagram, just Brie underscore Empower Up Inc. You can find us at www.empowerupinc.com. You can
Mhm.
find us on PayPal. Um, you can find me on Facebook personally at Brie, Brie. So Snapchat, everything, Empower, anything you could think of, Empower Up Inc. You can find us. Chat buttons on the website. You can sign up for the emails. We're planning a gala soon, so I'd love to have you in the building. So yeah, and you can find us at the community events in the DFW area. So we're out here in the community, helping the community, smiling, and meeting with the community. So that's where you can find me, or in church on Sundays.
Absolutely. And I do want to kind of give a shout out to your face paint and body paint artist, Kristen, because I
Yes, all
interviewed
things
her.
arty.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
all things Artie, Texas. Kristen, I know you're probably gonna watch this interview, but thank you for being such an awesome guest as well. I'm just
Yes, that's my right hand, my
excited.
girl. She just got a new logo. Make sure you check it out. Your brand new logo release. So
I will be checking her out. But as for our community out there, please go follow What's Up Dallas, where we're bringing all things positive in the DFW straight to your community. Find us on social media at What's Up Dallas Magazine. All right. Peace out, everybody. Till next time.